I know it's so chapel, just exploring around, looking at everything, preparing for a new service, which takes place at 1 o'clock. They kind of let us film inside without open. The stained glass windows are then in the future because they have a lot of them. We were Manchester, James Fraser. Hello, we're here with Reverend Dr. Adrian Burden today. We're interviewing him about Methodism as a role. What's he like? How does the church relate to other religious groups?
The church lives in the broader world alongside people of all sorts of races, cultures, religions, ethnicities, and we recognise that although we have our differences, there are many things that we share in common. We might not necessarily believe completely exactly the same, but there's an underlying basic understanding of the needs of the wider society and what is good and what is bad. So anything which allows human flourishing, enables justice, enables the right way of living, then we have that common ground on which to work together. Many of the religious groups, such as Judaism and Islam and Christianity, have their roots in the same place, and so it's a common journey, and we share many things, even though the actual expression of them is quite different. And so, particularly the Methodist Church works very closely with people of other faiths in this country. When we go overseas, it's more difficult in some places where Christianity might be a minority religion in a country where another faith is dominant and strong. For example, in Saudi Arabia, it's really hard to be a Christian because the dominant religion is Islam. They're very militant and they work against Christianity. Places like Burma, Buddhism is very strong, and they too have issues with Christianity, and so there are places in the world where it is difficult to be a Christian. But here in British society, we try to work together to create a cohesive way of living.
Why did you want to become a minister?
What made me want to become a minister? It's a long story really. I grew up in a household where my parents went to church, and we went to a Methodist church, and I grew up in that church and was welcomed and looked after and cared for, introduced to a way of living that involved the ways of Christian faith. I felt a call from God and an impulsion, an urge to help other people to share that faith and that belief, and so I became a lay preacher, and that didn't feel like that was enough, so I felt that I was being urged and called to work full time for the church as an ordained minister, where I could give my life over to the work of the church and all those things that involves. So it's something that really was an impulsion, a compulsion, something I felt that I had to do.
Your view on same-sex marriage, and why has it taken so long to be allowed?
The Methodist Church's view on same-sex marriage is quite complicated really, because we're still working out what we're going to say about it. in the world outside the church, it's legal for same-sex marriages to take place, but the church is just a bit slow in catching up at the moment. The reason for that is that the traditional church teaching on marriage is that all our statements about marriage talk about it being a man and a woman, and we have to catch up a little bit and redefine some of our church regulations and laws, which will then allow us to marry same-sex couples. The majority of the church leaders are happy to do that, but it's just a legal process that we have to go through, which is why it's just taking a little bit longer than outside the church for it to be able to be organised.
How are different sexualities represented and encouraged to join the Methodist Church?
Yeah, the Methodist Church is a very inclusive church, and all people are welcome no matter what sexual orientation or experience, so LGBT and questioning people are all welcome. We have people who worship in the Methodist Church who are trans people, and all manner of people are very welcome to take part, take leadership roles, and it's a very inclusive organisation.
Do you think the Christian faith is doing enough to enhance different ethnicities?
If you think about the different ethnicities in the Christian faith, you have to recognise that the Christian faith exists in all the world. And so in different parts of the world, different ethnicities are expressed and used as part of the Christian expression. And it might be that in individual locations it's sort of monochrome and only one ethnicity expressed. But some places, like in London, where you can go to a church and there are all sorts of ethnicities present, people of different cultures, different races, different languages, all worshipping together. So when we think about Christianity, we have to recognise it as a world religion. So in many places of the world, Christianity is very strong, and it's much stronger now in other places like Africa and South Asia than it actually is in Europe. So if you take the whole global region, Christianity is a very varied ethnicity.
Do you feel gender equality has moved on in recent years?
In the Methodist Church, gender equality has moved on in recent years. The place of women in the church has become very much more significant. In olden days, only men could be ministers and leaders, whereas now there are almost as many women in leadership as there are men. Of course, lots more women attend the church than men in the first place, so it's a much more equal balance, especially in terms of the leadership.
Do you feel that women have bigger roles in the church?
Certainly women have bigger roles in the church than they used to. There used to be a point where only men could be made ministers and take leadership roles, and now there are almost as many women leading congregations and taking senior positions as there are men.
What do the members of the church, like the ordinary people, what can they do?
The local members or the ordinary members of the local church can get involved in those issues of justice and confronting the world and challenging the systems of authority in all sorts of ways. There are projects that are working in local churches to help people understand the issues. They can get involved in their local communities. Many of the things that we work with, like food banks, street chaplains, they take place in local communities and rely upon the local church people to work in those areas. On a more global setting, the local church members can educate themselves. They can learn about the issues of trafficking, global justice, the issues of climate control, and they can make their little bit of a difference. The way that they live their lives can affect the ways that the issues of the climate change can take place. Looking after the environment, every little bit helps in that, doesn't it? So it's not just really getting involved in the big issues, it's doing a little bit wherever they are and wherever they they can. And then also they can engage other people to work on those issues. So if there's an issue of more broad justice and bigger issues, they can put their weight to the campaigns to do that kind of thing. So things like Christian Aid, who work for all sorts of things across the world, Tradecraft, they deal with fair trade issues. Instead of buying chocolate that is bought at extortionate prices by fair trade chocolate, you know that producers are getting a good deal, that kind of thing. So there's all sorts of things that individual local people can do that together makes a difference.
How does the church in Britain relate to other churches in the world?
The Methodist Church in Britain has lots of partner churches throughout the world, many of them in poorer countries or in places where it's more challenging to be a Christian. And the Methodist Church in Britain seeks to support and encourage and enable the churches in those places to work a bit easier and to get resources that they might not otherwise have. So we work with places such as India, Burma, Tonga in the Pacific, churches in Europe as well. And we engage with those churches, giving them support, sometimes sharing resources and people, sometimes giving them grants where they need money, sometimes giving them training where they need extra help. Some of the work is on specific projects, like with the Methodist Church in Italy. The church in Britain is supporting the Methodist Church there in working with refugees and migrants and the people who are coming into Italy on boats across the Mediterranean. Those people who are escaping from places like Syria and finding themselves being washed up on the shores. The Methodist Church in Italy is working with them, and the Methodist Church in Britain is working with them to support them.
How does the church engage with the wider world, especially in the areas of justice?
Yeah, the church engages with the wider world in all sorts of ways, and has a very great concern for issues of justice. There are things around the world that the church comments upon, and things like racial justice, where different ethnic groups are falling out with each other. We try and mediate. Social justice, one of the big projects that the churches are often involved in are food banks. Street pastors, where they engage with people on the streets on a social basis, supporting them as they go about the nighttime economy. Climate change, the church has great opinions on that, because as a Christian church we believe that God is the creator and it's human beings' responsibility to care for creation. And so the church challenges people to have a good use of creation and be concerned about the environment. There's all those issues of justice which involve people challenging people trafficking and all of those things which work towards negating human life and making life bad for people. The church has an opinion on all of those things and seeks to engage in a way of living which enables people to thrive, to do well, to have a good life, and to live in a fair way. And it's not just about looking after the people who are the victims, but it's also about challenging the systems and the organisations which make them